Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on this Wednesday. We're going to keep going today with decomposing fractions. We are still decomposing fractions. And remember, decompose means to break apart. Break apart. That's what decompose means. So we are breaking these fractions apart. Quick reminder here before we actually start breaking them apart. Are we changing the denominator when we decompose fractions? No, we absolutely are not. So remember, no matter what, no matter how we break that numerator down, the top number, the bottom number, your denominator, will always stay the same. Let's go ahead and get started. If you need a reminder, here's a quick example of how 5, 6 can be decomposed. And there's more than one way to decompose this fraction. It can be decomposed as 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6, because if we add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that all equals 5. And we want the top numbers, all of our numerators, to equal the numerator in the fraction that we're decomposing. So as long as all of these numbers, when added together, equal the top number in your fraction, you have decomposed correctly. Another example for 5, 6. Highlight 5, 6 so you know what fraction I'm looking at. Is 2, 6. Too much there. It's 2, 6 plus 3, 6. Let me erase this so it's not confusing. Okay, well, I'm struggling erasing it. Let's move on. So right here where the circle is, 2, 6 plus 3, 6. Remember, we're only breaking down the top number. How can we break apart 5? We know that 2 plus 3 equals 5. Is there another way that we can break apart this 5? Yes, and it's the last example here. 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4 equals 5, and we're adding our denominator. All right, let's get started. Now, I am only going to show one example, and then I want you to continue with at least 3. You have 5 boxes, but I want you to show at least 3 ways to decompose this fraction. Let's look at 11/5. Yes, our numerator is larger. 11 is greater than 5. That doesn't matter. We're just thinking about the numerator. We only want to break apart the numerator. How can I break apart the number 11? What plus what equals 11? Yes. And if it's easier for you to write 10 plus 1, because I know that 10 plus 1 equals 11, then go back and add your denominator. And 5 is my denominator in 11/5. 10/5 plus 1/5 equal 11/5. Let's do one more. I still want you to come up with 2 on your own. Okay, so let's do one more. What plus what equals 11? How can we break apart 11? If it helps, get 11 pieces of paper and separate them in 2 or 3 groups. Speaking of 3 groups, let's do it 3 ways. 3 plus 3 plus 5 equals 11. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 6 plus 5 equals 11. Am I changing my denominator? Nope. I'm just going back to add it over here. Okay, so I want you to put these 2 examples on your paper and then come up with 2 examples of your own, at least 2. If you're feeling brave and smart like I know you are, come up with 3. Show me 3 different ways to decompose 11/5. We're decomposing, breaking apart 11/5. Changing the numerator, the denominator stays the same. Now, number 2 is a mixed number. Number 2 is a mixed number. What makes a mixed number? We have a whole number and a fraction. When we have a whole number and a fraction together, it's called a mixed number. Think about it like a piece of pizza. If I have one pizza here, one pizza here, and I am going to divide my pizza into 8 pieces because 8 is my denominator, my bottom number. So I'm dividing this into 8 pieces. Now, you don't have to draw this on your Cami assignment. I just want you to understand what this whole looks like, what this one means. There's one pizza with 8 slices. But we always have to get 2 pizzas on pizza night. Okay, so I have 2 pizzas. First, we're going to eat one pizza. That means we're eating all 8 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the second pizza, we're only going to eat how many? How many of the 8? 3. 1, 2, 3. So when you see a mixed number, just know the whole number is representing the whole pizza. Yes, it can be in pieces, but we ate the whole thing, so it's a whole number. The second pizza, we only ate a fraction or a part of it. So we're going to break this down into smaller pieces. We're going to decompose it. The easiest way to decompose this mixed number is to write the whole number first. 1 plus our fraction. 1 plus 3/8. That's how I broke apart my whole number, my mixed number. Now, when you see this whole pizza, I'm going to put this fraction up here so we can see what the 1 actually looks like. We ate 8 out of 8 slices, which is 1 whole pizza. We ate 8 of the 8 slices of pizza. 1 whole pizza. How many slices are in this whole pizza? 8. And how many did we eat? 8. We ate the whole thing. The entire pizza is what we ate. Okay. So how can I show that as a fraction? Well, I'm going to write, instead of writing 1, I'm actually going to write 8 eighths. 8 out of 8, 8 eighths. Plus, what was our second fraction, our first fraction in this mixed number? Sure, 3/8. So 8/8 plus 3/8. And I'm going to show you another example in this box. Now that we decomposed, instead of 1, we have 8/8 because we know we ate 8 out of the 8 pieces. We can decompose these top numerators. Let's decompose one at a time. How can we break down the 8? When you think of 8, how do you want to break it apart? Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use a different color. But I do like 4. If I'm going to break down 8, 4 plus 4 equals 8. I'm going to go back and add my denominator. Do we want to break down 3/8 or leave it the same? We can break it down. How can we break down 3 or break it apart? How about 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2. And we're going to go back and add our denominator that has not changed. Let's do one more together. 8/8 plus 3/8 is the exact same thing as 1 plus 3/8, or 1 and 3/8 is this mixed number. Can you show me another way to decompose this? Again, let's go ahead and break down this 8 first. 3 plus 5 equals, yes, 8. And what's my denominator? 8. It has not changed. So although this is a mixed number, guys, don't let it confuse you. If it does, just focus on this fraction where we broke it apart. And then I'm going to add my 3/8. I want you guys to rewind this video where it starts over for another explanation of this, so we can make sure that we really understand how to break down this mixed number and understand that this one whole is really 8 pieces. We were just really hungry that day and ate all 8 pieces of pizza. So go back, rewind for number 2. I want you to listen to that again. And then show me 2 more ways to decompose this mixed number. If you're thinking, Miss Adams, I still don't understand this mixed number, show me how to decompose 8/8 and 3/8. Decompose 8/8 and then decompose 3/8. Show me what that looks like. 2 different ways. For number 3, decompose 8/12 in more than one way into a sum of fractions with the same denominator. Our denominator is going to be the same. Record each decomposition with an equation and justify it by shading the circle. I know these are a lot of directions, but let's focus on decomposing 8/12, and then we'll focus on shading in the circle. How can we break apart 8? Yes. And we have several ways up top in number 2 that we broke apart 8. 4 plus 4 equals 8. What is my denominator? What's my bottom number that will not change? Yes, in this fraction, it's 12. This is the one we're looking at, 8/12. Not changing my denominator. I'm just bringing it on down, bringing it on down. Then I'm going to shade in the amount in my equation. First, how many pieces do I have to shade in from the first fraction? 4. So there's 1. And I'm just going to make this big dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many pieces or slices are in my second equation? My second fraction? Yeah, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I want you to show me, record this example, write it on your assignment, and show me another way that we can decompose 8/12. Remember, your numerator is your denominator is the same. If you want, you can write your denominator first. Your denominator is the same. What 2 numbers can I add together that will equal 8? That's going to be your numerator. What plus what? The 2 numbers that equal 8, you're putting that as your numerator. And then whatever number you put here, that's how many pieces you're going to shade. And whatever number you put here, that's how many pieces that you're going to shade. Finally, guys, you're going to end with practice for multiplication today. We do not want to forget this strategy. You can use your partial products or your boxes, but show your work for at least 2 problems. I'm going to type that so we don't forget. Show your work for at least 2 problems. Once you're finished, submit.